My dear students, today we will discuss about plane table surveying, which is very important and you have to do in the practical part. And you already seen that other surveys, which is of chain survey and also the prismatic compass survey. And this is about the what is called as the plane table survey. And now in this plane table survey, you are able to know about what is plane table surveying and also the methods of plane table surveying. So here there are different types of methods of plane table surveys are there. So that we will discuss. And the another thing is that you have to know about how to the procedure of the plane table survey by different methods, that is radiation method or intersection method or the traverse method. But here in this lecture we will deal about the procedure of radiation closed traverse methods. Now let us see about the advantage of plane table surveying is that now you can do the field work and also plotting go hand in hand. That is the importance of this plane table survey. So here how we can say the plane table surveying? Plane table surveying is a graphical method of surveying in which the field work and its plotting go hand in hand in the field. Means you can do the simultaneously field work and also plotting or mapping will be done at the same time. That is the advantage of the plane table survey. And you can do this very quickly, the survey you can do quickly, and also it is an accurate method of surveying. And now another is that this surveying is very suitable or quite suitable for the arid and semi-arid regions. Why? Because the weather conditions, if it is a wet conditions, we cannot open space, we cannot do the plane table survey. So this survey we can do in arid and semi-arid areas. Now the important thing here is that if you see the plane table survey, now it requires lot of equipment, and this we will discuss about the what are the required equipment for the plane table survey. Now the first and foremost important is that drawing board. So now the drawing board is very important. On the drawing board you have to keep the what is called as paper sheet, and that sheet you will draw the whatever the survey you have done, and this drawing board you have to fix it into tripod. Then another equipment called as spirit level, and the another one is plumbing fork, or we can also call as U frame or a plumb bob. And another one, this is trough compass. So you in order to know the direction you have to know the trough compass. And alidade is used to see the object from station, and ranging rods or pegs are used for the object, and another one to measure the distance, the tape is needed, chain or a tape is needed. And the other drawing equipment, it includes paper sheet and pencil and pens and scale. These are the important equipment we can see in the plane table survey. Now you see this slide, and in this slide you can observe that now the first one, this is a board, this is a drawing board, and this board is mounted on a tripod, means 3 legs, it is having the 3 legs and mounted to this tripod or fixed to this tripod with a leveling head or a ball and socket arrangement. So under the board or on the tripod you can have the what is called as ball and socket arrangement in such a fashion that it can be leveled or revolved about the vertical axis and may be clumped it any position. This is the first part, the drawing board and the tripod. And you can see this slide, another one is the spirit level. So the spirit level, you can observe that the spirit level, you can see this here there is a bubble, and when you are we have to do a leveling for this plane table survey. At that part of leveling, this spirit level is used, and the bubble should be at the center. In the middle, if you come, this bubble comes at the middle, that will be level. Now, the spirit level is required to ensure leveling the table surface. The spirit level can be placed in two perpendicular direction and leveled. So, in this fashion you have to keep, and another direction also you have to check from all over the board, this drawing board, so that the bubble should be at the like in the middle. Now, this is the second one, spirit level. And third one is very important. This is also called as plumbing fork or U frame or a plumb bob. You can see that this is a plumb bob, and here this is a U frame fork, and it is a upper arm it is there and lower arm is there. So, on the lower arm you have a what is called plumb bob hanging the plumb bob, and this is a folded frame with a hook and a plumb bob at the lower limb makes up the plumbing fork, and the upper frame is placed on the sheet with its pointed end at a point. Now, the upper end you have to keep this point at the what is called on the paper sheet which is fixed to the board, and this point now, and in the lower arm the plumb bob is dropped, and this will be the station point or the center point, and this point should be transferred to the on the paper. That is for the importance of that one. For transferring the ground point to the paper, you are using the U frame or a plumb bob or a plumbing fork. The next another important part is that equipment is that trough compass. Now you can see this in the slide. You can see this stump of trough compass. This trough compass is a rectangular box. You can observe here. This is a rectangular in shape, and this is useful to determine the magnetic north. It is very important when you are surveying, you have to take the magnetic north. The magnetic north you can do by this trough compass. So, this is very important. By turning the box placed on the table, the needle is made read 0. When it comes to 0, at the time you have to draw the line along the edges of the box, and that gives the magnetic meridian. So, on the paper sheet you have to draw the magnetic north. Then another important aspect is the alidade. So, now you see this in the slide figure. In the figure you can see that for the alidade you can see that eye vein is the one. From this you have to see the object, and the another point is called as object vein. So, object vein again it has a fine thread or a horsehair will be there for the and you have to see from eye vein, and the object will be seen from the eye vein to the object vein, and then you have to take the readings, and there will be a what is called as fiducial edge. So, fiducial edge means it is a scale and you have to draw the lines, and then alidade is a ruler with a sight line attached and is used on the plane table for bisecting the object. This is very important. So, for bisecting the object you have to see the object through eye vein, and through the object vein you will get the bisect the object, and drawing the lines, direction lines, etc. It is also called as sight rule. We can also call alidade is also called as sight rule. One of the sight veins is provided with a narrow rectangular slit to see the object, while other is provided with a central vertical air or a wire to bisect the object. This is alidade. And another important things are you need to you need to have ranging rods and pegs. So, are used for identifying the stations and facilitating the sites, and also to know the ground station or station point. And in surveying the plane table survey, the tape or chain is used, and tape is used for measuring the baselines and also check measurements. So, when you will use this tape, suppose from station A to station B you have to measure the distance. For that purpose you will use the tape. Here this figure, this slide shows the ranging rods, and here it is showing about the tape. Another thing is that here drawing equipment means you need to paper, pencils, pen, scale are very important, this drawing equipment, and the plane tabling is generally adopted surface in which high precision is not required. So, or we can say that if there is any deviation, you can also, there will not be any high precision. It is mainly employed for small scale or medium size mapping. Only we will use this plane table survey for a smaller area or a medium area only. And now you can see here, now generally plane table surveying can be done by different methods. So, depends upon the what is called as criteria, we will have different methods. Now, the one is the radiation method, another one is a traverse method, and intersection method, and resection method. So, now you see the slide. In this slide I have given the what are 4 types of the methods for the plane table surveying. So, what are the plane table survey? The first method is radiation method, second one is traverse method, and this traverse method again you have a closed traverse and a open traverse, and the third one is intersection method, and the fourth one is resection method. Now, we will discuss all the methods in detail, and we will see the example of radiation method and traverse method in this lesson. Now, before going to the surveying, you have to know the key terms. First thing is, one is that foresight and backsight. What is foresight? What is backsight? So, you need to know about these terms. So, in plane table survey, you will have a foresight. Foresight refers to the ray drawn from instrument station, where the station where you are observing the objects toward the sighted station. This line is based on the plotted location of the instrument station and extends toward the station being observed. This is called as foresight. And another one term is called as backsight. A backsight involves aligning the alidade along the previously plotted line. Already plotted line you are observing from the next station of previously plotted line, that we are calling as the backsight. And now backside, the current instrument station and another known station, the table is rotated until the line of sight bisect the known station, which establish the backsight for the survey. These two terms are important when you are doing the plane table survey. Now, first we will discuss, already we have said that there are different methods of plane table surveying, and first we will discuss about the radiation method. This method is only effective if the whole surveying is to be done from one single station. So, here you are seeing from one station only, you will observe the objects, all the objects from single station, that we are calling as the radiation method. The table will be in the such a position from where all the other points of the field are easily visible. So, at that time only we will use the radiation method. Now, the procedure of the radiation method is, to carry out the radiation method, follow these steps. First is setting up the plane table, which is very important, and second is the plotting the instrument station and drawing the magnetic north and sighting the details points, and again the transferring the station points. These are all the steps, and measuring and plotting distances and finishing the plan. So, this is the what is called steps. Now, let us look about the procedure. Now, the procedure is that at each station the plane table is required to get set up before carrying out any plotting work. First, initially you have to, before carrying out the mapping, you have to do 3 steps, one in plane table survey. What are the 3 steps here? The leveling is the one, centering is the one, orientation is the one. So, these 3 for plane table surveying, leveling is performed first, followed by centering and then orientation. So, now what is leveling here? The top of the table is leveled by moving the legs of the tripod, so that it should be level without any deviation. And second thing is centering. The centering means setting the table vertically on the ground point. So, now centering means here, now you have to transfer the ground point to the what is called as to the paper sheet, that is centering. And the third one is orientation. Orientation is defined as the operation for keeping the table at each of the successive stations parallel to the position occupied by the table at the first station. So, this is very important. When you are moving from one station to another station, you have to do all these three steps. One is leveling, one is centering, one is the orientation. Then only you have to carry out the plotting. Then now look at this slide. This is a plane table survey, which is the board which is fixed to the tripod. And now the station A, this what is called as the station A, and here is the station B, and here is the station C and D and E. Now, so already we have discussed that radiation method. In radiation method, from a single station you will measure all the stations from a single point. So, keeping the table here, you will observe station A, station B, station C, station D and station E. So, this type of method comes in the this type of method is called as radiation method. So, now look at the procedure. At point P, this is point P, is to be selected in such a fashion that all the other points A, B, C, D, E are seen easily from the point P. Then after that, we have discussed the three steps are needed. First, you have to do centering, leveling and orientation, and then only at first step, by putting the alidade on the point P, you have to see the alidade which is consists of I vane and object vane. From the I vane to object vane, you have to see the from point A to point P to point A, you have to observe and draw the line. And then from point P to A, after drawing the line, you have to measure the ground distance from point P to point A. In the similar manner, you see the object B through alidade from point P, and then here you have to draw the line for B, and then you have to measure the distance from P to B. In the similar manner, you have to see all the object C, object D and object E, and also you have to measure the distance from the point P to C, point P to E, D and point to E. All this you have to measure the things and you have to note down. By this method, now you can plot the distances and by reducing the scale. So, already by reducing the scale means you have to convert. Suppose for example, if it is of 12 meters on the ground, you have to convert into 1 centimeter is equal to 2 meters. So, the scale is that 1 centimeter is representing the 2 meters on the ground. So, if it is 12 meters, you have to raise it 1 centimeter on the ground, it is representing the 6 centimeters on the paper sheet. So, in this way you have to draw all the lines and the radiation we can do, and finally you will get a plotting, and in this way you can calculate the what is called area by radiation method. And the next method is the traversing method. In this method, the plane table set up at each successive station and foresight is taken to the next station. The distance between the station is either measured directly or obtained through intersecting the rays. Traversing is particularly useful for surveying elongated areas such as roads, railways, forested regions where large open views are scarce. Now, What is the difference between a radiation method and traverse method? In radiation method, you will observe that from single point you are taking the measurements, and from traversing method you have to move from station A to station B to station C. So that at least foresight and backside we can observe in the traversing method. So the principle of traversing method is similar to that of radiation method, but key difference being that in the radiation method the observations are made to all surrounding point near the station, while in the traversing method the observations are limited to subsequent stations where the surveyors will set up the plane table. The plane table traverse is typically carried out in a closed circuit, originates and closes on known to resected points. Now to perform the plane table traverse method, again there are some same steps you can do whatever you have done in the radiation method. First reconnaissance, and second one is orientation of the table is needed, and draw a magnetic north, and the second thing is that sighting the next station and measure the distance of AB from one point to the another station. And in this way, first you have to take the reading from A, again you have to move the plane table to station B and station C and station D, and again at every station you have to orient the table, and the plotting will be done. Then repeat the process until all stations will be completed. Then you map the distances on the paper and you will have to calculate the area. And in this way, now you can say this is a closed traverse. Again the traverse method has a open traverse and closed traverse. What is closed traverse here? The closed traverse is that you will start point and the end point will be the same from A to A, again you will reach to A. Now station A, you look at this slide, the station A, and here your plane table is set up, centering, orientation and what is called leveling is done, and from station A to station B you have drawn a line, and this line is drawn, and again you will move the plane table to station B, and you will take the reading of the object of C and you draw the line, again you will move to the station C, and again you will take all the centering, leveling and orientation, and then like that you will move to all the stations from A, B, C, D and E. All these again this will be seen, and the final map is prepared on the paper sheet. This plotting is done in this way. So this is the closed traverse method, and there is another method that is called as intersection method. Intersection method is used when surveying graphical technique used to determine the location of detailed point by intersecting rays drawn from two known stations. Look at the figure. Now the station A is this one and station B is this one. Now I have already known the station A and station B. Now I want to calculate about the station P. So for that purpose the intersection method is used. It is commonly referred to as a graphic triangulation because it relies on the geometric principle of constructing triangles to locate points. In the same way, another method is resection method. What is resection method in plane table survey? In determining the location of the station occupied by the plane table by drawing the rays from stations whose positions are already plotted on the sheet. Now this is a station C and this is station A, station B. Now at station C you have already you have done about station A and station B. So you are knowing the location of station C. This is called as the interpolation method or fixing method. It involves interpolating the position of the occupied station using already known locations. These are the different methods you will find out from resection methods. And then now here by using radiation method or intersection or traversing method, we can locate the points on the paper which were already on the ground by using the algebraic formula. We can calculate the area of the given land by area of a triangle will be calculated by the formula half into base into height, and the second area of square side into side, and area of a rectangle length into breadth, and the area of a trapezium is we can calculate by half into a plus b into height. So, AB are parallel sides, H is the distance between the parallel sides. So, what is the advantage of plane table survey? The advantage is that observation and plotting can done simultaneously, and the here for that only the centering, leveling and orientation is required. So, there is no need of great skill is not required in this, this is the advantage, and also you can do the small scale and medium scale only. Now, there is also errors in plane table survey, instrumental errors and errors of manipulation and sighting and errors of plotting. So, instrumental errors already you know the surface of the board not being perfect plane, or fiducial edge of the alidade not being straight line, or the site of the alidade not being perpendicular to its base, or the fitting of table or tripod being loose. These are instrumental errors. And errors in plane table survey, the errors of manipulation and sighting, the board not being horizontal, the table not being accurately centered, or table not being correctly oriented. These are the errors, some of the errors of manipulation and sighting. And errors of plotting, by using a good quality paper and stretching it properly on the board, or by constant care in drawing and in the use of the scales. So, these are the errors, and this is about the total about the plane table surveying. So, dear students, you have to do this in the field where you can do the plotting and the field survey done simultaneously, and this is very useful for doing a small survey and which do not requires high precision, and thank you very much.